If you're an indie pop artist in the style of Wallows, or maybe you're just an artist that wants to venture into indie pop, today I want to show you how I'd go about doing something like that. But first, hey, I'm Matt. I'm a producer and engineer that helps artists turn their demos into records from the pre-production process all the way to release. So if you're an artist and you want to work together, click the first link in the description and tell me about your project. All right, now back to the video. First things first, on my master, I have just a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 thing. Very, very driven. I'm going to take it off. You can see what it sounds like without it. So obviously a lot of harmonics being added in there, being driven into tapes, kind of like a classic like Wallows indie pop sound. As for the drums, I'm using Superior Drummer. You can use samples, loops, doesn't really matter. The one thing I find important though is everything is mono. So as you can see, I do have some things like pan off to the side like the reverb, but I don't have any like side drums like overheads. I don't have any like toms going off to the right or anything. Everything is right down the middle. But like I said, you can use samples, totally viable. So a big part of the sound is very simple melodic lines on the guitar, and the guitar tone being kind of like chorusy, but clean, but modulated, but kind of weird, but dry at the end of the day, sort of. So I'm not going to lean into a lot of long reverbs. All right, I'm going to tap tempo. I kind of want to go around like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So 140, that seems to be working. Let's just turn on the metronome and see if that's what we want. 4, dun, dun. All right, let's put it in. Okay, so I have two variations of this. This kind of half, like I said, the hi-hat only comes in on the kick. And then on this half, the hi-hat is just kind of acting as a normal hi-hat. It's good to have this diversity in parts because we can use them in different areas and kind of make it feel like the drums aren't very static. We could just play the drums very dynamically and like realistic, but Wallows has this very like two-dimensional feel, but still somehow realistic. So it doesn't sound like just static samples across the song. It does sound like a drum kit, but it is very dynamically still. And so because it's dynamically still, having that variation in the drum playing will make it kind of move along. Let's actually quantize this quite a bit. I want to go pretty heavy. I'll probably go 95. And then I want to do a section as well for a chorus. So odds are I'll probably use something like a ride. And now we've got verse A, verse B, and chorus. Verse B could be a pre-chorus. Verse B could just be like an alternative sound for the verse. I'm not really sure yet. So right now I think the drums may be a little too full. Let's listen to it. They do take up a lot of that frequency spectrum, but it might be okay. I think we do the guitars first, and then we can kind of determine what we're going to do with the drums. So I'm going to grab my Stratocaster, I'm going to hop into 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘, and we'll figure out a guitar tone. Right now we got... Actually, that's not too bad. I was thinking maybe we'd go to a Roland jazz chorus, but this might work. Let's just see. We might as well try it out. Let's go to the Roland jazz. Yeah, let's take that reverb off, bring up the volume and the drive a little bit. And I'm going to stick around like major 7 chords, 9 chords maybe. Just stuff that's kind of like a little more tasteful than just the average chord. I was thinking something like... And then going to the A. And then some sort of like sus2 or sus4, I'm not sure. Sus2. Like that. Okay, I turned down the distortion a little bit, turned down the bass a little bit. Sounds a little better now. Cool, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. This is just going to be like a little breakdown drum only. Yeah, I'm going to get another guitar in there. This one's going to be a little more driven now, I think. Or it could be the clean melody. I'm not sure. Let's mess around. I've got this patch called, what's it called? I think it's called Medium Size, which is a medium build inspired sound. It's like his live tone that I like. So I think it might be good. So on their lead lines, they're very like staccato. There's not really too much like hammer-ons or slides or anything. It's very like... like that. So I'm going to play like that. I think we need some like twinkly weird stuff going on too. For that, I'm gonna maybe use 𝗕𝗘𝗠𝗘. I just like how spacey and modulated and crazy it can get in this plugin. Yeah. Okay. What can we get going on here? I'm almost thinking I want a bit crusher. Do I have a bit crusher? KHS bit crush. Okay, a little too much. Something that's gonna make it sound a little weird. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, now it's time for bass. I don't have a bass right now, but I do have a guitar and I do have a transpose option, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to throw a utility on there so I can hear it, because I'm going to play a dry. Pickups are all dirty. I'm going to go to the second pickup. That seems to work the best. That's pretty cool. I'm going to take that, going to transpose it down to 12, like that. And then I'm probably going to gain off that. That's kind of a lot of gain. I'm going to go to the Ultimate Bass Rack, which if you've watched the videos before, you know what's in this bass rack. But if you haven't, the plugins will pop up down here. You can check them out. Oh yeah, also let's go in and make sure this is on complex. Nice. All right, I'm gonna take some room out of here. Yeah, and then it is very bassy, so let's maybe bring the ultra high in and duck it a little bit around this frequency here. Now, I think we just need like a synth in here and we should be done. I'm actually quite happy with that pad. All right, let's go to Diva and see what we can do for like a little lead key line. Okay. Kind of cool little organ thing. I'm thinking we do a little Fox echo. Yeah, and then maybe I'll put another delay on there too. Then maybe some Valhalla shimmer. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, I think that's it. It's actually quite simple. It took a while to get like the tones dialed in a little bit, but I think it worked out pretty well. Let's just listen to this part into the last chorus, and we'll see how it sounds. Yeah, I think that kind of suits the Wallows vibe, that indie pop alternative stuff. Well, cool. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Let me know what you want to see next in these videos, and what else do I have to say? Nothing. I think that's it. All right. Goodbye.